Hi, friends and family. It's your girl V Styles coming to you one more again. Today I am going to talk about me reconstructing my life. As I'm on this journey, I will always share my input, my mental, whatever I'm going through or thinking. And today I was a little inspired because I was getting my spiritual workout on by listening to my girl Sarah Jakes. And I just was really inspired. So I just wanted to talk about how I am right now in the process of reconstructing my mental so I can figure out what I don't know and who I am called to be. This is why currently my life is under renovation, and this is like the process of God reconstructing who I am. It brings me to a point where in my reconstruction of my home, and I'll link pictures or try and add them to the video, but in the pictures you will see that in my living room, essentially there was a mirror that was just dead center in the middle of the wall of the living room, and it just was like there for no reason. Wonderful mirror, yeah, but like if you're gonna make that a living room, and if it's supposed to be a living room, then you need to have somewhere you can put your TV. So essentially, I was going back and forth with my grandfather, letting him know, like, look, I understand that this is something that is of value to you, because it's, it just allows you to have that old piece into the house, and it has history because the house has essentially been, this brownstone has been in the family since the 60s. But it just no longer made sense. And, we just kept going back and forth about it. He wanted the mirror to stay there. So what I did is came up with the idea of creating a wall unit around it. Because again, in order for me to have a functioning living room, I would need to be able to put my TV up somewhere. And I'm just not one of those people who have died away from watching TV. So I need a TV. And we are now building the wall unit, which I'll add the picture where you'll see that the TV and the fireplace was built around that mirror. So behind it is actually the mirror. So he gets his mirror and I get to put my TV up on the wall. Now, the funny thing about it is, as we went back and forth, now that we're in the reconstruction process of building this wall unit, my grandfather sees what it is and sees what it will potentially be, and he wants the wall unit to remain up there even if I decide to leave, which I'm just like, but sir, had you trusted me in the beginning of this process, this would have been so much easier. I wouldn't have had to spend more money in building the wall unit. It wouldn't take me longer to complete my living room design, and we would have been happy. TV could have been on the wall. The fireplace could have been on the wall. I would be halfway done by now, you guys. I would be moving on to my hallway, bathroom, and kitchen. But no, because he fought me on this, I had to build around what he wasn't ready to let go of. And when I think about that, I think of how my process with God reconstructing my life is going. And I don't know how many of you guys can relate to this, but it essentially is the same process that God deals with us. God is saying, I have something bigger and better for you. If you allow me to take you through this renovation process of your life, or if you allow me to reconstruct some things, what you see right now is not really what it's going to be at the end. It's going to be something way beautiful that you couldn't have imagined. And it just really boils down to understanding that God is not here to demolish your life, but he is just here to remove what cannot go to the next phase in your life. And he's just here to make those ashes into something beautiful. So right now, I'm pumped. I'm excited. I'm on a good Zen vibe right now. You know, I can be very emotional. So today I might be up, tomorrow I might be like in a corner like, oh, I'm lonely. But I am in the process of understanding that I am in the phase where I am changing in the sense that I am becoming more aware of what is and what isn't. I'm, working on shifting my lifestyle around and allowing God to shift my friends around and learning to love me and learning to love again and learning to die so I can live in the next phase of my life. This process isn't easy and it doesn't feel good. Sometimes I want to grab a drink because I'm stressed out and just drink my way to the next process. Because as you know, everyone has a coping mechanism, and some people, their coping mechanism may be having sex, their coping mechanism may be drinking, their coping mechanism may be reading something healthy, going to the gym. So I'm learning to change all of my coping mechanisms to something that is positive. One thing I did start is I went to the gym. I started back going to the gym because your girl's stomach needs to be on flat, her booty needs to be on fat. But we are retraining ourselves to do more positive and healthy things during this reconstruction process because I know it's not always going to be easy for me. And I'm here for it. I hope you're here for it. We're going to see what happens. Now, if I don't have that fat at the end of this process, y'all know I will be at Dr. Miami's office. But outside of that, I am just trying to remove all of my options at this point. And when I say removing all of my options, I'm talking about removing exes, removing things that was an option for me to kind of deviate from going through a positive reconstructing process. So that's where I am at right now. However, I am willing to allow growth to happen. So that's why this process is very essential. Because if I don't allow God to reconstruct my life, and I'm just saying, Lord, build around it, as my grandfather did with the mirror, build around it, then that means it's extra work for God. It's unnecessary work. And as I stated with my grandfather, we had to take extra steps because he was not willing to just let go of the mirror. And now he's falling in love with the wall unit. And it's the same thing where God's like, well, had you just let go of what you were used to and what comforts you, you would have been able to receive the blessing that I had for you much quicker. But you took the longer route. And regardless, in God, he's going to bless you anyway. What he said he was going to give you, he's going to give you. However, the way that you get there is another story. If you go through unnecessary hell, it's because of you and not because of him. And that's because we didn't allow the reconstruction process to begin or didn't allow ourselves to go through that reconstruction process. And I just want to be able to allow growth to happen. I want to make sure that the walls of my reconstruction process is built up correctly and nailed down correctly. So this way they don't fall. So yes, it is a process. And sometimes I just don't want to go through the process. But I know that what is now will be beautiful later. What looks like pain will be pleasure later. What looks like loneliness will be filled with strength, will be filled with love. There will not be any emptiness there because I will be filled with whatever it is that God is going to fill my life with, as long as I allow myself to let go and go through this process, which means I'm going to go through some emotions. But again, that's why allowing myself to have healthy options and not those bad options is something that I have to focus on. I just don't want to go through the process, but I know that what is will be beautiful later. We are building unbreakable walls. My swag will be different after this. Like, I got swag now, but I'm gonna have swag. Like, swag surf, you know. It's just gonna be gliding through the streets. You ain't gonna be able to tell me nothing, okay? But it's gonna be good. Like, I ain't gonna be stank, but I'm gonna be swag delicious, okay? Swagalicious. So I'm not gonna give up on this process, no matter how long it takes or how many sleepless nights I have, because the best is yet to come. And I am going to be able to love and not be a fool. I'm going to be able to forgive and not be taken advantage of after this process, because I am allowing myself to open up to learn what it is that God has for me, what it is that God needs me to do, and what it is that needs to break down in my life so I can be who I am essentially set in this world to become. So that is my reconstruction process that I'm going through. I hope that this has helped someone else as it's helping me. As always, feedback and comments is always welcome. Like, share, comment, and I'm out.